Hello. In this video, we will learn about the aggregate function in Excel.
The aggregate function is like a Swiss Army knife, can basically handle 19 operations, like all of these sum function, max, min. So all of these 19 functions can be done using the same aggregate function. And on top of that, also it can ignore hidden rows, errors, things like that. So we can have all of these 19 functions, and we have options to ignore things like subtotals, aggregate functions, ignore hidden rows, nested subtotal and aggregate functions, ignore error values, nested subtotal and aggregate functions, ignore hidden rows, error values, nested subtotal, aggregate functions. So there are 7 options like this where we can tell the function what we need to ignore. So ignore nothing is there, ignore hidden rows are there, ignore error values, and finally ignore hidden rows and error values. So we can select from any of these options when we are using the function. So let's look at an example. We have a list of scores here, and we want to find the maximum value within this range, ignoring both errors and hidden rows. So as you can see, there are errors here. Also, if you notice, after 55, we don't have 56, there's 57. So there's a hidden row here. If I come here and do a right click and do unhide, we can see there's a row 56 is hidden. So let me just undo that. So let's try to do this the normal way using the max function. So if we use the regular max function over here and give this range and enter, I get a hash div error because max function can't handle this divide by 0 error. That's there. So let's try to do the same thing with the aggregate function. So the function starts with, as usual, equal aggregate, and then we can, as the first argument, we have to select the function number. So we have the 19 functions available. So what we want is the fourth one, the max function. So what we want here is the max function. So I can press tab to select max function, and then I have to give the option for ignoring whatever I want. So here I want to ignore both errors and hidden rows. So we have to go with this one. Option number 7, ignore hidden rows and error values. So I will select that with the tab key and then put a comma. Now I have to give the reference range or the array where the numbers are located. So let me select like this, and then I can close the bracket and press enter. So I get an answer of 94. So it has basically ignored these 2 error values and also the hidden row. So here it says the maximum value is 94. So actually in this range, the visible range, 94 is the maximum value. So that answer is correct. So let's say I want to take the hidden value also into account. So if you see here between these 2 rows, what's the hidden value? The hidden value is, if I unhide, there's 99. So 99 has got updated here because it was hidden early, it doesn't come here. So how can we do it so that even if it's hidden, it's taken into account here? So here I have unhidden it. So let me again hide that, and then come here, and here as the option, let me delete this and see what are the options I have. So I have So I'll go with ignore error values only. So that means the hidden row will be accounted for. So I'll go with option number 6. And I will go for that. Now I see I get the 99 answer. So that hidden value is also now taken into the function. Let's look at another example. So here we have a set of data. And let's say we want to calculate the sum of the volume. So here I have done the normal regular sum function. And I have got the total sum here, 3650. So I'll do the same thing with aggregate function. But what I will do is I will hide these two highlighted rows. So to do that, let me come here to the filter and go to color filter. Go to filter by color and select no fill cells only. So those two colored rows are now filtered out. So let me do the aggregate function now. Aggregate. Here I want the sum function. Function 9. For the option, I will say ignore nothing. And I will give this range. And enter. Now I get the same answer as the sum function. So now let's go here and I will change the option to ignore hidden rows 5. Now I get answer 3290. So now I get 3290. So if I just highlight these cells, in the status bar, I see the sum is 3290. So only the visible cells have been taken into account in the aggregate function now.
Thanks for watching.